Welcome to second offline podcast. This podcast is something that I always wanted to record. The topic that we discussed, we all could relate to it because music is something that we cannot live without. Music is something that we all could relate to. Music is something that we all can easily connect to. Prathamesh Gondle, popularly known as Rhythmic Chaos, who graduated from BCS, is pursuing full-time music production. He came on the podcast and shared his opinions on an artist's journey, the dark side of music production, and his journey as a music producer. And he also shared some of his future plans as well. Watch this entire podcast to know his entire journey and his future plans. And do let us know how you liked the podcast in the comment section. Let's welcome Rhythmic Chaos, aka Prathamesh Gondale, on Podcast with Kunal. Enjoy yourself. Rhythmic Chaos, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
How are
Hello. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm OP. What are you thinking nowadays?
I'm doing some new stuff, new work,
Related to?
music.
And
course.
you elaborate?
Yes, I'm currently working on some new projects. Maybe an EP, most probably.
So, after Alap, what are you planning now? I mean, what will be the theme of the music?
Actually, I'm moving towards chill sounds. Like it will be house, but it will be chill, like tropical house. Like if you have listened to my song Heavens,
Hmm.
it's like a chill vibe, but it's not house. But still, I'm gonna do it in house style.
When did you actually start making music?
I started in late 2018,
Hmm.
where I started on my dad's laptop. It was not that high end in spec. I actually downloaded the DAW and I started making beats on that. And that's how my journey began.
How are you managing now? Because you are in engineering right now, right?
No, I have just completed my graduation in BCS,
Okay.
Bachelor in Computer Science, and now I'm doing music full time.
Not doing full time.
In coming months, I will be doing full time. Like at the moment, I'm doing, but then
How
again,
did you convince your parents for that?
they didn't need any convincing for this thing. They were like, "Do what you want."
And you are lucky. So, like, I want to ask you, I mean, what is the process of producing songs? Like, EDM music, instrumental music.
Okay, so I actually mainly produce EDM. My genre is house. I produce electro house mostly, and the process is like I actually start with either the drums, the normal house beat like kicks and claps, and then I go with the bass line on top of the drums, and then I build it like the leads and the effects and some automations, trying some weird stuff, distorting, pitch bending, everything. So it's not the same for every song, the making process. Like sometimes I just get an idea while I'm driving, or sometimes I get an idea sitting in the studio, or sometimes when lying in my bed. But yeah, so most important thing here is firing up your DAW and getting your ideas in the DAW from your head.
Cool stuff. I mean, I want to ask you, when I was in 11, 10, 12, I used to vibe on Martin Garrix,
Yeah,
animal songs. and
everyone
everything.
used to.
But yeah, everyone could relate that.
Yeah.
But now, as you can see, I don't think so many people listen to those songs on a regular basis.
Yes.
And why is that?
The thing is that over the period of time, that genre, the style of the music have got mainstream. Like it's mainstream now. Like every beginner producer you see comes. Martin Garrix is his idol, and he tries to recreate animals. That's it. Like they take some sound and then they add the repeating pattern and adding some kicks and they're done. Like it's the mainstream right now. So people are more like, people want vibrant songs. They want something different, something unusual. So the industry is moving in that direction. Like even if you see like big artists like Charlie Puth and all, they are doing something unusual, like using day-to-day sounds. Like if you are following Charlie Puth, he
Yeah.
uses light switch. Like it's unusual and it's unique, and it's like pretty cool to listen to. So people are moving towards that more nowadays.
Why did you choose to make EDM music? I mean, why not? I mean, proper singing. Like,
As you say, as you said, you used to vibe on Martin Garrix. I used to too, and yeah, that was very fascinating for me. So I actually, what happened is, when I listened to Martin Garrix, I was like, yeah, he makes good sounds, good music. So I started to search about him, like about Martin Garrix. So then I read his Wikipedia. Then I watched his documentary. There's a documentary on Netflix called What We Started. I watched that. Then I was like, okay, so he makes music through FL Studio. So then I was more curious. So I downloaded FL Studio. I was like, let's see what is in this. Like, what's the process of making a song? I was curious about that. So I downloaded DAW. I have searched millions of time when I was in 2018, 2019 period, that how to make a song, how is a song made, like what's the process behind it. And then I came to conclusion that yes, to make a song, you need to have a DAW, digital audio workstation. So I downloaded FL Studio and I started fiddling around. I watched some YouTube tutorials. Then mostly I learned through experience. Like I tried something, this knob, that knob, doing this, doing that. Then I came to know that okay, this gives this effect. So I learned that way. So over the 4 years of period till now, I've been doing that.
so in today's time, many people, rare people are there who actually try producing songs through EDM. Most of them actually sing. Most of them actually use instrumental music. I mean, like using proper instruments like
Yeah,
guitar, drums,
yeah,
piano, etc.
yeah.
Why did you not choose to, those, according to that method, or produce music through that way?
Through instruments, you
Yeah.
mean? So see, the thing is, playing an instrument is a good thing. Like it can give the perfect sound. Like no one can beat instrument. Like even we have modern VSTs who can which can recreate the sound of that instrument. They can't match up with the real instrument. Like they get close 99%, but the 1%, the warmth and the the crisp that the real instrument has is not as good as in the VST. So the thing is, when people like, for example, let's take you're playing guitar. You can't play violin, you can't play piano, you can just play guitar. So you are limited over there. So I choose digital audio workstation because I get to choose the sounds. All I have to do is type in some notes and then get going with the sound. So as a beginner, I chose that. But now as I'm growing, I'm trying to get as much real instruments as possible. Like for in the to the end, my song with Bharat Shinde, I used real bass guitar in the intro. My one of my friend who plays guitar, I called him and I told him to like, can you record me this part, like the 15 to 30 seconds. Then he gave me that and then we used it. So as I'm growing, I'm using real instruments. Like for alap, I use sitar.
Oh,
I fuse sitar with EDM, like house
crazy.
music with classical. I used alap sample. Actually, it's a sample from a sample pack. But yeah, Indian classical sound and EDM fusion.
What are the dark side of music industry, especially rap industry? Because as you can see, there are a dark side for music as well. Problems faced by many famous musicians are like payment issues, or recently only I read somewhere that a group of band was invited by someone for their wedding and everything. They were not given proper breaks. Their payment was also due. They didn't pay them. um, they overdid their performance and everything. So I want to know, are there any dark side of EDM music or problems faced by people who produce EDM music?
Yes, there are dark side to every industry. Like in the EDM, mostly the market is captured with record labels. Overall, in music industry, it's captured by record labels. Like independent artists are emerging at the moment. Like they are still growing. Like there are not a lot of independent artists here, which can we say ki, yes, he's independent artist and he is like label tod type. So the dark side in the EDM industry is like labels. So labels, what they do is they see their benefit in artist instead of looking at the art. So for example, there is a song from artist. So it's very creative art. It's very relatable. It's very, you know, it can be a boom if they release, but he doesn't have a lot of following. So almost mostly labels, what they do is they look at their following, the artist following. Like if we release his song, will it benefit us?
Got it.
So if, for example, the artist had 10,000 followers or 1 million followers on Instagram, if he would literally give garbage music, they would release it. So that's kind of a partiality or
So you mean brands and labels need followers and numbers instead of the real quality content?
yeah, exactly. So nowadays this is happening more. Like the bigger and bigger labels, they want business. It's actually business. So they don't think like this, that if we release its song, this will go boom, which will help artists, and when it will help artists will obviously come back to you because you released his song and it gave him popularity. So they don't think like that. Like it should be a recurring thing. Like you benefit the artist benefit you. So it should be like that, but it isn't. Like I have also like rejection is the like beginners are like bombarded with rejections. Like they sometimes they go in depression with due to that rejections. Like the amount of rejection label gives. Like I don't know, maybe they listen or not. They just like see reject, see reject. I'm not aware of that. But yeah, that's the dark side of the EDM industry. Like labels mostly fuck up artist.
Why do you think EDM music will rise again
Rise in India.
especially in India?
Especially in India. Okay, so EDM, if we see Indian music background, you 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 cannot see EDM anywhere. There's no EDM. Like nowadays, it's emerging. It's slowly growing in India. Like Martin Garrix doing shows, Kashmir doing shows, DJ Snake coming to India, India tours. So people are getting more like known about the fact that EDM exists. Like even if you go in some rural areas or cities, if you ask someone, do you listen to EDM? They'll say no. If you look at their playlist, they're listening to Bollywood music, old Bollywood music, 2014, 2015. They just want to be there. So nowadays, due to these tours, big DJs coming to India, the EDM EDM industry or EDM thing is growing up. and artists like me are also promoting it slowly.
Do you think,
Yeah.
are you facing competition due to DJ Snake and Martin Garrix and Kashmir who are already made their name in the industry?
So okay, so competition. Okay, it's a really funny thing. The way I look competition is like there is no competition. Your only competition is you. The way I view it is like this. Like my competition is me. So the biggest competitor for rhythmic chaos is rhythmic chaos. So it doesn't matter how much big DJs come to India, how much the tickets sell or how much streams they get. It doesn't matter. Like I have that mindset that the only competition is you. So I'm not like really relating or getting like in self doubt due to the competition. Yeah.
So I want to ask you about, mind reading, then assumptions and all, and
Assumptions.
manifestation. What do you like? Why do you think all these are important for any artist?
Okay, so manifestation in general is a very funny and a different topic which I can talk on about hours. But the main thing is everyone who is living on manifestation. Like whether you believe it or not, you're manifesting everything in moment to moment basis. Talking about as an artist, if you have enough self belief, if you have enough confidence, then you can easily break through the industry, irrespective of what others are doing, what you are getting told, what feedback you're getting, everything.
What percent of manifestation is actually work for
100%.
any artist? Because
100%.
the reason I'm asking is because there are millions of artists in India, I believe. Lots of them would be manifesting things.
Yeah.
Very few of them actually get some breakthrough.
Yeah.
So do you really believe that
Yes.
they actually work?
100%. So the thing is, the people who break through, they have the right self belief and the right self concept. It's all about you. Manifestation is all about you, not the external factors, not what the circumstances is, nothing. It's all about you. So the artists who get breakthrough in the music industry are more like they have approach self approach. They have approach called self approach, self belief, confidence. If you check their routines, you'll see that they have some time off for themselves. They have some time to meditate, to put in some right beliefs. They don't indulge in such vague content which gives negativity, which promotes negativity, content which promotes negativity, and feedbacks which promote negativity. They don't take that seriously because they are more focused on getting the breakthrough. So they do. Like general human tendency is to relate what's happening in front of you, but they don't relate to that. They're like, okay, this is happening, let it happen. I don't give a shit. I want what I want, and I'm focusing on that. So that's what sets them apart.
Do you think luck also plays a big role? Because only manifesting things and hard working won't, help you. I believe luck should also be there. Because as you can see, I'm doing a podcast. Luckily, I'm having some equipments that everyone could afford. Like this mic can be afforded by everyone. It costs around 7,000 or something. But there are many people who are using equipments which are not even afforded by me or anyone who's at a beginner level. I will actually reach out that level, but the people who have already reached there, do you really think that only manifestation put them to the level they are right now?
Yes, actually, if you talk about me, I don't believe in luck.
Why?
because I create my own luck. I believe that sentence. I create my own luck. So, as I said, it's all about your self belief and self concept. So, if you have that on point, you'll always be lucky in every moment of your life. So, what's the point in saying lucky?
I mean, right now, many people would actually disagree on that.
Yes, I know many people will disagree on that. Even the comment section on this will say, like, what is he saying and all. But yeah, that's it. Like, if I would say that you try this, you'll 100% get results.
No, the reason I said is luck is because I'll give you my example only. Um, I started hosting people who are actually famous, right from gamers, right from authors, um, famous businessmen, and they were actually having a name in the industry, and they are having contacts, huge number of contacts as well. Many people are there who are not even able to reach out to them. They are like, I've got DMs, I've got mails from people who watch the podcast and everything. They are like, can you help us reach out to them? Can you help us contact them? They are also doing the same thing. Many people are doing the same thing, but still they are not able to reach out to those guests who we actually pitched for the podcast. We hosted them, we built a connection, and we have now, also built a relation also with them. So do you think that this will also, like, manifestation, luck? I mean, the reason I'm only asking is because luck, I believe, plays a really good part. What do you think?
Okay, so actually, I'm turning into a mindset guru right now. But yeah, my only answer to this would be analyze yourself. Like, when you pitch to them, did you have any of these, like insecurities, fears, self doubt? Did you had any of these?
Before starting, yes, but not anymore, because I already know that we are having a name.
Yeah.
And I believe not in the name of the content. I believe word of mouth plays a really big part, because that's what actually helped us in shaping up the entire brand and everything.
Okay, so you said at the beginning you did, but not
With a natural, I mean.
yeah, it's natural. You get nervous, but why the time you pitched them, were you more focused on will he say no? Or were you more focused on yes, I pitched him?
No,
We'll see.
I didn't think any of this. I was just focusing on pitching that person.
That's the
And
difference.
back of the mind, I knew he would say yes.
That's the difference. You had it. It's all about identity. The way you identify yourself speaks out loud about you.
How would you actually explain the entire concept of EDM music to children? Because most of my viewers are school going. College going will actually understand. But school going, convincing a school going person, or a kid, school going kid rather, it's very difficult. How would you actually explain that person?
I would make him listen to my songs and tell him this is EDM. Listen to this stream now.
कि रिदमिक क्या और EDM म्यूजिक क्या है, सुन ले.
या सुन ले.
Nice.
पता चल जाएगा.
EDM म्यूजिक सुनना है, आ जाओ, सुना दूंगा.
सुना दूंगा.
I want to ask you one last question before going. What are your future plans now? To become the next Martin Garrix, to become the next Kashmir, or to become the next DJ Snake, or to become Rhythmic Chaos?
I have to become Rhythmic Chaos. The next Rhythmic Chaos. That's it. Obviously, my goal is to collab with all these artists you named right now. Those are few. I want to collab with many more. Like my inspiration, the one who inspired me to create my sound is
Who is he actually? What?
Julian Jordan. Julian Jordan inspired me a lot in creating my sound, like the electro house and the high energy sound he has inspired a lot. And so if you listen to my songs like Drop the World, Flavors, or Run the Show, Don't Stop, they are high energy songs. Like you listen Martin Garrix and Julian Jordan, they are the same. But I've added touch of rhythmic chaos in that. Like I have not just copied, paste. Like he's doing, like some of them, some of the producer I see, they what they do is pull up a tutorial and then they just copy it. Like he's twisting that knob, twisting this knob, adding this effect, adding that effect. And the tutorial doesn't show you the whole process, right? The mixing, the mastering, the songwriting. They show you the arrangement. Most of the tutorials you see on YouTube are songs which are pre-made. And the artist just opens the project and then he just goes through like top to bottom. Like this is a sample, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. That's it. So it's not efficient way to learn producing. So what I did is I did the same, but I added my touch to it. Like I tweaked it. Like if he's twisting knob, I twisted another knob. So I got different effect. Like that.
Rhythmic Chaos.
Yes,
Thank you so
Rhythmic
much
Chaos.
for coming on the podcast and talking about life of an struggling artist.
Yes.
Talking about EDM music and explaining the entire concept of EDM music. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
Same.
See you.
This was Prathamesh Gondle, popularly known as Rhythmic Chaos, who shared his journey as a full-time music producer, the dark side of a music producer, as well as the difficulties faced by a music producer. Honestly, I believe this is just the start of our music production special podcast. And I'm sure you must have also loved this podcast and learned a lot through him. If you like this podcast, do let us know in the comment section that how and why did you like this podcast, and let us know who you want to see next in the podcast, and also let us know how you feel that we would have made this podcast in a better way. Team PWK will be back with yet another amazing podcast, something that you have never even expected of. Till then, love you guys, stay happy, stay healthy, and keep vibing to amazing music. Love you guys.